Hey everybody, welcome back. This is some wedding drama brewed stronger than your morning coffee.
You had to pay $450.
My husband went on a last date with his ex.
My boyfriend uninvited me from his sister's wedding so that he could bring his girl best friend. But I'm going anyway. For starters, I love my boyfriend's family. I do not love his girl best friend. My boyfriend's been friends with this girl since childhood, and he admits that for years he was in love with her. But she just kept leading him on.
Absolutely
She
not.
would flirt with him, say things like, oh, but like, could you ever imagine if we were together? Maybe that would be amazing. Making marriage pacts, things like that. But then she would always get a boyfriend and friend zone him. And this cycle of flirting with him when she was single and acting like they were just friends when she had a boyfriend continued all the way into college until he met me. Now, I've only met his girl best friend a few times because she lives in a different state than us, but every time has been far less than enjoyable. The girl is awful, and she thinks everything between us is a competition. Who knows him best? Who would be a better wife? Who would be a better what? Like, why? That's so weird. But for some reason, it always comes back to who's closer with his family. And she always talks about how his mom is like a second mom to her, and she just really feels like she's a part of their family. Okay. Cool flex. Like, don't know what to tell you about that one. About a week ago, my boyfriend's sister's wedding invitation came in the mail. And it was addressed to him, but included a +1. Obviously, that +1 was meant for me. Like, we've been dating for years. It was just assumed. Or so I thought. Now, the first few days after getting the invitation, he was talking to me about plans, plane flights to go to the wedding, things like that. But after a few days, he stopped mentioning the wedding. And if I brought it up, he would change the subject. So 2 days ago, I get home and my boyfriend's in the bedroom on the phone on speaker with somebody. And I would know that nasally, whiny little voice anywhere. It was his girl best friend. And she was talking about what she should wear to the wedding, which I didn't think was weird. She always talks about how close she is to his family. So obviously she'd be invited, right? So I walk into the bedroom and say hi to his girl best friend on the phone, and he looks startled, which is weird because I've said hi to her on speaker before and he didn't seem to have a problem with it. And I tell her that I look forward to seeing her at the wedding, which is a lie, but I'm nice, okay? I'm trying to be nice. Tell me why this girl says, oh, I'm so glad you got an individual invitation. I was starting to feel a little bad about taking the +1.
Absolutely not. Oh, no.
Taking my +1.
No.
Who's taking my +1?
Oh, God, no. No, I'm sorry. It's done. You're done. He's done. Done. Not only did he not tell you that this was his plan, but the fact that this is even a plan to begin with, he wants to take somebody else to a wedding. Girl, he just broke up with you. That's a breakup. She's lying in wait, and it's like,
oh, now he's in a relationship. Oh, he must be great.
it's kind of like, there's actually a term for it when someone who you're not interested in is suddenly like dating someone really, really hot. Oh God, there's like, oh God, there's glimmering or something. I forget what it's called, but there's a term for when someone who normally wouldn't be considered attractive starts dating someone attractive, they're surrounded by like people that are attractive. All of a sudden they become more attractive.
Squidward, you're even more handsome now.
This girl is out to steal your man.
So my boyfriend really quickly tells this girl that he has to go. And I'm like, yeah, you better.
Yeah, he does. He does have to go. Interesting choice of
And I
words.
stand there, my arms crossed, and I'm like, okay, what is she talking about? And he tells me that she didn't receive an invitation to the wedding. Shocking, considering
She's such good friends
was
with
part
the
of
family.
That's what she said. And he said that she called him distraught, saying that it would mean everything to her to go to this wedding and to celebrate with the people that she loved the most. People that you love the most. You didn't get invited to the wedding. So I tell him, I'm like, I think that that's really strange to make your +1 not your girlfriend at your immediate family's wedding. And he was like, they've known her forever. I don't think it'd be that weird.
But then why wasn't she invited in the first place?
And he has the nerve to go, well, neither did you. I'm floored, honestly. The fact that he said that, I was like, yes, I was invited. That +1 was meant for me. I've literally talked to your sister about her wedding multiple times. That +1, just because it didn't have my name on it, did not mean that it wasn't meant for me. And he said, well, you know what? Your name isn't on it. I can choose who I want as my plus
Oh,
one.
no.
And I'm taking my friend.
Oh, my God. No.
So I storm out, go to my best friend's place, and proceed to just cry and tell her what happened. Honestly, I was just feeling so embarrassed. I know I shouldn't feel embarrassed, but it's just like, how could he not even want me there? But that...
Because he wants to be with that other girl, bestie. He just broke up with you in your face. This trifling man. The audacity. Where does one find the audacity to do this and then still expect their relationship to continue?
Is when I got an unexpected call from my boyfriend's sister. She told me that my boyfriend just called her to tell her the situation, and she was livid. She said that clearly the plus one in that invitation was me. She apologized. She was like, I was just trying to save some customization costs, but if I would have known he was going to pull this, I should have just put your name on it. Like, that was clearly
No, you're not
intended for you.
going.
I'm so sorry.
You're not going, bestie.
It came across that I didn't want you at my wedding, or that you weren't invited. You're 100% invited. I want you there. The best part, though, is she starts talking about my boyfriend's girl best friend. And she says, there's absolutely no way I'm letting that little leech at my wedding.
Period.
My boyfriend's
Yes.
sister goes on to tell me that his entire family despises this girl.
Oh my God.
Because she led on my boyfriend
Yeah.
for years. He's rude, selfish, ungrateful. Every time she was over at their house, she would leave a mess, never clean it up. Basically, she said that she was just not a nice girl. And it was intentional that she didn't get an invitation to the wedding. So even though his girl best friend was saying that, she was like family to that was a lie. They don't talk. She tries to reach out apparently, and they all ignore her. Then she tells me that she has revoked her brother's plus one and will be mailing me my individual invitation.
Oh!
She even told me that even if I make the decision to dump my boyfriend over this, she would still love to have me at the wedding because she feels like I've become part of the family at this point.
Wow.
I'm part of the family. Oh my, how the tables have turned. So I know for a fact that I'm going to be at that wedding. Now, will I be attending with my boyfriend or not?
No.
That's to be decided.
No, absolutely not. That is your ex-boyfriend now, girly pop. That's your ex. And it doesn't surprise me that this girl best friend didn't get an invite to the wedding. If it's true what you say that she led him on, he's probably told his sister about her. And I'm sorry, but you tell your sister or someone close to you about someone that's just leading you on over years and years and years. They're automatically not gonna like them. My goodness, please tell me you did not go to that wedding with your boyfriend. Please break up with him. Please.
Let me tell y'all, the wait was worth it because the update I have for you, absolutely insane. First, for the question that everybody's wondering, yes, I dumped him. I'm not gonna sit around and be disrespected like that. Also,
Yes!
I'm the most fun wedding date, so the fact that he didn't want to bring me, it just shows that he has bad judgment, and I can't be dating a man with bad judgment and who disrespects me. And yeah, I sound okay now.
Music to
but
my ears.
When I broke up with him, I was pretty devastated. I mean, I was with the guy for years. I loved him, and it's a breakup. It's hard. But you know what softened the blow? When I received the invitation for his sister's wedding in the mail. Because not only was it an invitation for me, but it included a plus one. By the time she sent me this invitation, I was already broken up with her brother, so she knew what she was doing giving me a plus one. Originally, I was thinking about bringing one of my best friends because I know I'm really
Bring a
gonna have a good
date,
time.
girl. Bring a date. Bring your guy best friend.
You know what? That's not petty enough. You see, something that I have failed to mention about my now ex-boyfriend is that he's a bit of a hypocrite because although he has this best girlfriend, I wasn't allowed to talk to my best guy friend.
Oh!
My best guy friend has been my friend since childhood, and we were super close family friends. Literally, there's never been anything romantic between the two of us, but my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, was incredibly jealous.
Oh my God. You listen. Okay. People that are obsessed, they have certain inklings about things. They don't want you to hang out with your guy best friend or your girl best friend. Or they're constantly suspicious of you cheating. Okay? Constantly. They're projecting. I swear to God, I have not seen this video before. That's actually crazy that I called it.
Why do you guys doubt me? Why do you doubt the fact that I'm psychic?
I'm sorry, I tried to guess the end of the story, but it's just so fun, you know? It's so fun. The fact that he had a problem with your guy best friend and was jealous of him, why would he even have those feelings if he wasn't displaying those feelings himself? Why would he be jealous of someone he shouldn't be jealous of if him and his
Girl best friend.
were just friends? You can't tell me that this man was not holding out for his girl best friend. You can't.
He did
Waste
not
man.
like that we would FaceTime, talk on the phone. So he told me that I couldn't talk to him anymore. And thinking back now, honestly, I'm so disappointed in myself that I didn't end the relationship then and that I didn't pick my friend. But I mean, hindsight's 2020. Luckily, after this breakup, I went back to my best guy friend and apologized. And he 100% understood and said no hard feelings and that we'd have a fresh start. I'm so lucky. And what is a better way to have a fresh start than attending a big wedding together? And my best guy friend,
I love
he
it.
was beyond in on this plan. He knew the reason that we hadn't talked in a few years was because of how jealous and controlling my ex-boyfriend was. So he thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get back at him. So the day of the wedding comes and me and my best friend roll up in the most amazing color coordinated fit.
Oh.
His tie matched my dress.
Oh,
Beautiful.
like prom.
And let me tell you, we walked in holding hands.
Yes!
The whole day, he had his arm around me,
Ooh.
you know, kissing me on the cheek. We were looking super coupley, even though we are the farthest thing from a couple. And
Nice.
whenever my ex saw me and my best friend walk into the ceremony area together, his face turned bright red. He immediately began to storm towards us, but some of the guys in the wedding party had to hold him back, so, you know, he wouldn't cause a scene. During the whole ceremony, my ex kept turning around and staring daggers at me and my best guy friend. Like, your sister's getting married, okay? Like, turn around. Like, eyes up front. Eyes up.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? It hurts, doesn't it? How is he acting like you have just done him so wrong when he did the literal exact same thing to you and thought that it would be okay? No, I know how it is. I know. And I love it. I love that for you, bestie. Like, this is literally one of the pettiest things that you could have done, and you did it, and I'm so proud of you.
We were sitting towards the back, so right when the ceremony was over, we were able to rush right out into cocktail hour. And that is where everything got insane. After about 5 minutes of being there, we heard yelling. I turn and guess who I see? But my ex-boyfriend's best girlfriend. What, like, girlie, what are you doing there? You weren't invited.
Whoa.
Turns out that when he saw that I brought my best guy friend, he texted her and told her that she needed to get there immediately.
Oh my
now,
God.
all the bridesmaids know that the bride is not a fan of this girl. Wow. So they're telling her that she needs to get out. My ex-boyfriend is screaming at them that this is his date and they have no right to talk to her that way. It is a whole mess. I'm loving it, honestly. I just wish that they were serving popcorn at the cocktail hour because...
Oh, that's a good note. Okay, serve popcorn at the cocktail hour. Okay, cool. I got a little wedding suggestion list.
That's when my ex-boyfriend locks eyes with me and starts making a beeline right for me and my best guy friend. I mean, like, it was funny seeing him be dramatic and overreact from a distance, but as he's coming towards me, it was not as funny anymore. And, you know, his little best girlfriend is following behind him like a little duckling. And he starts screaming. He's yelling. He's telling me how terrible I am.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Honestly, I just kind of zoned him out. why do I care what this man
How
has to say?
inappropriate.
I listened to this man's useless thoughts for years. Like, I'm not going to give any more time to that. So I'm just standing there nodding. No, you're right. Yeah. No, I get it. I totally. And he is flailing his hands so much when talking that he hits a waiter's platter and it goes up, spills red cocktail sauce all over him. His best little girlfriend tries to help him clean it up with some napkins, but he's so embarrassed that he just starts screaming at her, which makes her start crying. So he's screaming, she's crying, it's a mess. I mean, I'm just there, eating my little shrimp cocktail. It was delicious, okay, great. I would actually like to know who the caterer was because top tier. So what does he do? He storms out. He leaves his sister's wedding before the reception.
Good.
Wild. Which I felt bad. I was like, did I do that?
Yes,
Is this my
you did,
fault?
but it's okay.
But obviously, I had asked his sister if I could be petty and bring my guy best friend before the wedding. And she loved it. She said that it was time that her brother learned his lesson and was held accountable. So during the reception, when she came up to me and asked where her brother was, and I told her the story, she burst out laughing. This girl was laughing so hard she was in tears. And I was like,
wow.
You're not upset that he's not here?
Oh, wow.
And she was like, no, this is the best possible outcome.
Wow.
I am just so glad that he is getting what was coming to him. Now, since the wedding, my ex has been trying desperately to get me back. Showed up outside my window with a boombox. Like,
oh, dear.
Okay, that's cute in a totally different context. When you do it, it's disgusting and cringy. As for my ex's sister, I'm going to her birthday dinner next week. I'm pretty sure we're going to be best friends for life. So at least I got something out of the relationship.
Oh, my goodness. That was one hell of a story, my girl. That was delectable. Like, I just want to take that sauce and put it on my pancakes. My goodness. Imagine having zero social decorum and causing a scene at your sister's wedding because your ex invited her guy best friend. What about when you invited your girl best friend and uninvited your girlfriend and actually thought it was a good idea? Do you know how many weddings I've been to where I've had to be in the same room with I don't like? Do you have any idea? A lot. There's been a lot. And guess what? There's enough people there that you can avoid them the whole time. Just a, hey, how are you? You look lovely. Thank you so much. Oh, you didn't say I look lovely. Right, got it. Okay. I take it back. So I'm gonna go to the bar. Literally all you need to do. Have some decorum. I just don't get it. Like, how can some people literally do awful things to somebody else and expect to be forgiven, expect all to be well? It's like,
Well, whatever, that's my prerogative.
but then when someone does the exact same thing to them, because, you know, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. When someone does the exact same thing to them, all of a sudden,
Oh, I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt.
yeah, how did you think it felt? I'm projecting right now. Why'd you think it was okay to do to me? This is literally, honestly, this channel is just a collection of me projecting my own personal emotional problems and having the fights that I wish I had with people, but saying it to you guys. Thank you for letting me vent. I appreciate it. When the maid of honor has had one too many, oh my God, she's motorboating you. Oh, okay, yes, take the glass. That's enough. She fully motorboated you, girl. She's like,
Dang, look at those titties. I'm gonna put my face all up in that. She's like,
oh my goodness. Hey, you know what? All is not lost. At least she fell backwards and not all over your wedding dress. Like, she had a full-on beer in her hand. She could have flown and fell forwards into you and thus spilling all over your wedding dress. But she didn't. She fell backwards. So can we get some water and coffee over here, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd never speak to her again. Oh, yes. I mean, honestly, kind of depends like what kind of relationship you have with your maid of honor. I would think you have to be rather close for her to even think about motorboating you. But yeah, I think that's definitely more of like a sleepover funny thing that you do as opposed to like a, oh, you could ruin the wedding dress with your makeup kind of thing. Time and place, babe. I'm dead serious. There is a time and place to motorboat, not at a classy wedding. Maybe like the after party once things start to get a little saucy. However, come on, man. This is like cocktail hour. Like, the sun is still out, for sakes. Have some decorum!
My husband went on a last date with his ex a week before our wedding just to make sure. His ex was always the one that got away, according to everyone around him. He ended things with her because he didn't see a future with her, and everyone around him was so shocked because she was so good and so beautiful. Then we met, and I soon understood that everyone on his side preferred her. He never gave me any reason to doubt him, ever. He always gave me the impression that he knew exactly what he wanted. He was always secure enough, and he even told me a couple months into our relationship that he loved me, and I never thought that he was lying about it. I never used to feel like I wasn't enough to him. He is fully aware of what people think about him leaving his ex, but he always gave me the impression that he thought that they were just silly and immature. He even told his mom that I'm the one that he chose, and if she wanted to be a part of that, then she needed to clean up her act. We got married 3 years ago now, and I only just recently found out that he went on a date with her a few days before our wedding. So I guess he wanted to know that she wasn't like everyone else thought, the one that got away.
I always hated that term, the one that got away. I feel like they're the one that got away because I feel like they got away for a reason, you know? They're not the one you chose for a reason, okay? Why are we still investing time and emotional energy in that person? Like, I'm sorry, so you went through with the wedding? You found this out before or after? Because girly pop.
We got married 3 years ago now, and I only just recently found out.
Just to see. What do you mean, just to see? See what? If he was wasting both yours and his time and her time?
Oh, I just needed to make sure. I just wanted to waste a little more time. Both yours, mine, and hers, okay?
I hope you don't mind. I do, actually. Everyone in the comments is screaming, divorce! I'm sorry, I didn't hear ex-husband. I didn't hear that either. Hey, so this is actually insane. Do you guys have a one that got away? Do you think about that person a lot? What was it? Was it their choice to get away, or was it your choice to send them on their way? I'm curious. What was it about that person, and what makes them the one that got away? Anyone that I would consider that, it's like, I was more interested in the idea of them than I was in actually them. Like, when it came to like assessing what it was about that person that I liked so much, it was like, oh, you don't actually know them at all. And everything you've seen about them has been bad. Apart from like the few glimmers of like cuteness that you see once in a while that you hang, the cookie crumbs, you know, the cookie crumbs that they leave for you. Nice little crumpets. Yeah, to be honest, it's like the logical brain is always still,
Yeah, but
they weren't the right choice at the end of the day. Either you weren't the right choice for them or they weren't the right choice for you. Either or, I don't like the term they got away, the one that got away. Because then you're comparing the person that you're with to this person that like, it's like the best version of them, you know? You always think the grass is greener, but like the fact of the matter is if you were meant to be with that person, then you would be. Just a girl who missed her 5 a.m. flight and won't make it to her bestie's wedding because Delta sucks.
But you missed the flight. All Delta did was leave on time. Also, if it's your best friend's wedding, don't fly out the day of. It's crazy to be like, you are my best friend in the whole world. I will do anything for you. Except take a day off and pay for a hotel.
Oh, no lies were told. No lies were told. Missed her 5 a.m. flight and won't make it to her bestie's wedding because Delta sucks. Okay, so two things wrong here. You didn't show up to your flight on time. Your fault. You somehow thought it was a good idea to fly out the day that your bestie was getting married, or there's no other flights.
Which is also your fault.
And now you're on TikTok crying, blaming it on something else. You get no sympathy from me. People that are late don't get my sympathy. They don't. All Delta did was leave on time. No lies were told, honestly, like zero lies were told in that sentence. Don't blame Delta. How is that Delta's fault? Delta doesn't suck, you suck.
because Delta sucks.
What do you mean Delta sucks? You had a flight, you were supposed to be there on time, and you weren't. How does that make Delta bad? Okay, there's more info. She said the TSA line was long. I mean, yeah, the TSA line can be long, but like, I feel like they always rush people to the front of the line when you're like about to miss your flight. And even then, I don't know how you guys show up at the airport less than like 2 hours or 3 hours before. Like, I need to be sitting at that airport. I need to know where my gate is. My passport I've checked is in my purse 7 15,000 times. And then I still end up waiting 6 hours because it's usually delayed. I have noticed that it's usually the really early morning flights that have the big lineups like that and the big issues, because everybody's trying to get to the airport at the same time. And like the early flight is usually what people pick because, you know, they have connecting flights, et cetera, et cetera. But like, yeah, you still should have shown up a little earlier. Just saying.
All right, TikTok, tell me if I'm tripping or not. So me and my fiance, we are getting married, right? And to be a part of our wedding, you have to pay $450 for a ticket. And that's for each guest. So we invited friends and family to our wedding. Tell me why everybody that we invited has declined the invitation. We already have spent $100, maybe almost close to $200,000 on the wedding. We have already pre-ordered the cake. We already put down a deposit for the venue. We've already got the wedding dress, everything. We pay for everything for the wedding. DJ, photographer, everything for the wedding. And what I don't understand is that y'all spend more money on stupid stuff, but you can't come out to support your family and your friends at a wedding.
A wedding is not a ticketed event, my guy. Sorry, bestie, but if you are throwing a party, you need to accommodate your guests. They can get you a gift, either cash or, you know, you could have one of those wedding registries or whatever. It's optional. In poor taste to not get you a gift, I will say that. But you don't charge your guests ticket fees to attend your wedding, let alone $450. Listen, if I don't like somebody or I'm not good enough friends with them or whatever, I'm not gonna go to their wedding simply because, number one, I don't wanna spend the time. Number two, I'm not gonna go to a wedding without getting a gift, okay? Not only do you need to get a gift that's usually, you know, like 100, 200 bucks, I don't know, whatever. You pay for your plate, okay? You pay for your plate. Not only do you need to get a gift, but you need to take time off work. You need to oftentimes travel, book hotels, etc. etc. So if I don't like you, I'm not coming to your wedding. That's just baseline, all right? And I feel like most people feel that way, right? However, charging people $450 as like a mandatory thing to attend your wedding, that's crazy. That's like more expensive than any. Are you also expecting wedding gifts on top of that?
Like, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell it, like, is we wrong? We like, let me know. Let me know. Because y'all pay for tickets. Beyonce tickets, $1,000 tickets. Y'all
That's Beyonce
for $1,000-something. But when it comes to your friends and your family, you can't pay the ticket.
When it comes to your friends and your family, you can't pay for them to come and watch you get married? Come on now, you're hosting a party. Have some decorum.
Like, these weddings ain't cheap. The weddings ain't cheap. Like what's going on? Like, I don't get it. Like, let us know, are we wrong for charging for a wedding? Like, I really, really want to know.
You are. You're wrong. This is not what people do. I'm sorry, it's not what people do. If you don't want all the bells and whistles and you don't want to have this crazy expensive wedding, you don't have to have a crazy expensive wedding. But you did want all the bells and whistles and you say, oh, it's expensive, but it's not expensive if you're charging $450 a ticket. Jesus Christ. Let's actually do the math on that. You do $450 a ticket times, let's say you invite like 80 people. That's a standard wedding, right? 80, 100 people. $36,000. That's $36,000. Let's see more. 450 times 100 people. Buddy, you're making money off your friends and family. You are. You want your friends and family to pay for your wedding. They already be out here taking all the time off work, getting you gifts, paying for outfits, paying for bachelor parties, bachelorette. Like, come on now. And now they additionally have to pay $450 to watch you get married.
With a 50% chance that you're gonna get divorced?
No. Absolutely not. Oh, the comments are turned off. Yeah, I'm guessing that people told you that that's bat crazy. Bat crazy. All right, guys, does anybody else have coffee after watching that video? Just me? Okay, I gotta go. Subscribe!